get set. It's a Project Ion podcast with Kevin, Andy, Jim, and Kyle, bringing you opinions on life from a basement in Northwest Iowa.
Oh, come on.
I really don't think that a president can do much about that issue.
You are fake news.
Well, let's say it's a guy named Seats.
I make spaghetti.
Man, this shit whack, man. I don't want to do a scam.
I want to save him until he goes through puberty.
Project Ion podcast with our explosive intro.
What's up,
Socially
everybody?
distancing since April 1st.
Yeah, was this our third or fourth or something episode like this?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awful. I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
I get enough Zoom during the day. I don't need it.
Spend all week on Zoom and
Yeah,
Zoom on the weekends.
just keep zooming.
Special guest today, my wife, for her second appearance on the show, Catherine.
Correct.
Yeah, it's been a long time since you've been on.
No one calls me Catherine, though, to be clear.
Catters.
I prefer the formality of it.
How's everybody
And,
doing? Staying
good.
safe? Got your face masks?
I want to give a big shout out to all the heroes and warriors sheltering in place, staying at home, saving lives. So brave, so
Yeah.
brave.
I need another stimulus. I'll tell you that.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah, you running out of money?
I'm already regretting it.
Yep.
How could any teacher in America possibly be running out of money right now?
We had to get into this already, huh?
He said we'd get into it later. It's officially later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, here we are.
This is going to be the COVID extravaganza, I think.
I guess. Well, there's nothing
We-
else to talk about, man.
No
Right.
kidding.
It's
Kelly bought us some face masks. I don't know where she got them, and I refuse to wear it. I'm not doing it.
Hmm.
Not gonna do it. Jim,
Well-
you wore some in public, didn't you?
I went to Walmart this morning, and I think my new policy for Walmart generally is going to be wear a hazmat suit. So
Even next year, 2021.
yeah, forevermore. I don't know. I wouldn't, if Laura wasn't pregnant, I wouldn't screw around with it probably, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know, we're right here at the finish line basically. So
You know, Kat and I were talking about this, which is, you know, the president, the vice president, everybody in command, all the important people can tell us to wear face masks, and it doesn't really like sink in that I should do it. But the social shaming and stigma
Oh,
that
man.
you would face
Peer
when you
pressure,
go out, yeah, totally peer pressured. That is
works.
so powerful. Yeah.
Well, didn't like Trump? I'm not gonna wear one. It's just not for me or whatever. That's all I need to know, Daddy.
Word.
well,
The
that was
great
kind of
white hope.
that was a perplexing thing because initially everybody was getting shamed if they had a face mask because it's like, well, you need to save those for people in hospitals and whatnot. And
Yeah.
then the position
Well,
changed.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean,
no,
I just
actually, you probably should wear a mask.
it baffles me that we're so like hell bent on N95 face masks, and there's a shortage and la 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 for the hospital staff, but yet we want 300 million people in America to go outside and wear one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's also one thing that bothers me about all this stuff is, I think some of the rulemaking and policy stuff is designed around places with a high population density, and then the same.
That's the argument for the. I was just thinking about that. That's the argument for the electoral college, right there. That's all you need to know.
I
Great.
get 100% why you'd maybe want a face mask and stuff if you're crammed in a subway or a bus or something, riding to work or whatever that might be. But I can easily go a day or two of work and not see anybody,
Oh yeah.
and that's at
Yeah.
the office. So
Yeah.
Yep. Iowa's one of the few states that doesn't have an official shelter-in-place order, and the governor, of course, gets all kinds of crap for it. But she made an interesting point the other day, which is, well, what would that mean if we were to say, okay, go ahead and shelter in place? Like, it feels like we're already doing that,
Yeah.
and saying it would just be putting a label on it, I guess. And she won't do it for whatever reason, but
No,
it feels
it's
like
just-
that's what's the practicality of it, is that's what's happening.
An excuse for people not to work. Oh, governor said I need to shelter in place. I can't go to work.
Yeah, how about that?
Not my call.
Uh-huh.
yeah, well, I guess we've been having outbreaks in factories and stuff here the past couple of days, I think.
Yep.
what I
Columbus
saw.
Junction and near Waterloo, or
Was it
something
like a
that.
Tyson factory or something? Or
Yep.
Mhm.
Apparently that's worse than what was reported, so it'll
Hmm.
be interesting to see.
Yep. Yeah, well, so for some of those folks, I don't know if a shelter-in-place thing would change their setup or not.
I don't know, like so I guess technically I'm in the construction industry, which sounds weird, but we're essential business and the plants are still running and things are still kind of going as normal, but they stagger their shifts more and they try to keep safe distances now more so than they used to. But like, it's weird to me how things like that can still run under the current situation. I don't know.
The almighty dollar, baby.
Yeah, of course. Yep. I don't
An
know.
idea of what actually is essential.
All workers are essential, Kyle.
Yeah. All lives matter, baby.
There's protests going on. Where is it, in Michigan?
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
I had a video set aside for that. Do you want to watch that quick?
Might as well.
Yeah. Allegedly. We'll see.
Allegedly.
Well, Jimmy's pulling this up. By the way, if you guys are really bored and want to laugh at home, go on YouTube and look for Zoom crashing or Zoom bombing.
Zoom bombing, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So funny.
With my
Hopefully-
students, I had some interesting names pop up. Like I have to accept them into the room, the Zoom room or whatever it
Yeah.
is. And there were some pretty interesting names that I declined. So yeah, I don't know.
Do you care to repeat a few on the air?
No, I cannot. In fact, I wouldn't even locker room talk. I wouldn't even tell you
Oh,
what they
God. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying that.
But I don't know. It makes me wonder if it was just a kid messing around or if it was actually a Zoom bomber or whatever.
Hmm.
So, anyways, yeah, the Michiganders, is that how they refer to themselves? I think so.
Yes.
Great Michigan.
They have had enough with authoritarian, draconian stay-at-home measures, and they took to the streets with AR-15s.
Hold on.
What?
Did you read the chat yet?
Yeah.
That's a great comment.
Yeah.
Congrats, Kyle, on getting the rest of the year off, is the comment. We'll get into that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not going to respond.
Hang on, Tony. Just hang on.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, a lot of horn honking through all of this. But I think the plan was to just fill the streets up with traffic, basically.
Yeah, and gridlock.
Yep.
Somehow your field trip to the Capitol was canceled.
Yeah, this isn't the best. Here we go. get to the part where there's like an interview.
And it's unwillingly that we're taking unemployment. We want to go back to work. We have employees. We have paychecks to issue. We have bills to pay. The only stores open are Walmart? That's ridiculous. That's why we're here.
It's time for our state to be opened up. We're tired of not being able to buy the things that we need, go to the hairdressers, get our hair done. It's time to open up. The sick are being taken care of. If you're sick, stay home and in your house. The ones that can work need to work. We need to open our businesses.
So what do you all think of that?
Amen. As a libertarian, that's right up my alley.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And Kat kind of had an interesting debate with a guy on Facebook today. I wouldn't call it a debate, but like a back and forth kind of thing, which is like, well, tell us about it, Catherine.
Oh, my friend shared a thing that was like, I'm hugging everyone when this is over. So I reposted it because I thought it was cute. And I said, not really, but this is funny. And he commented, I'm done living in fear and I'm hugging everyone. And I hugged 4 people today. And I don't know. I think he's like offended that he's supposed to stay 6 feet away from everyone. But I've heard other people say the longer we don't comply, the longer it's going to go.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, I get recommending things and all that good stuff, but when you start legislating and fining people, like that just throws the Constitution out the window. It's like right to assemble, right to practice your own religion, right to free speech. And we don't have that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's I think what bothers me more than anything is if they start, like I said, if they start fining or arresting people that don't follow these guidelines. I'm fine with the government saying it's probably in your best interest not to be in crowded spaces or stand 6 feet away from each other or whatever. But if you're going to fine me $1,000 in jail time for going outside without a face mask, we don't live in the USA anymore. That's just it.
It's a little interesting, and I don't want maybe say shocking on how willingly everybody is.
Yeah.
Most people are going along with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think it pertains to the amount of time that we've had to deal with it. I mean, there is an ability to drum up a lot of fear and uncertainty and so forth. And, if people are scared enough, you can get them to do about whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what we've seen. But as time drags on, and if there isn't a rollback in all the restrictions and that sort of thing, I can see more and more of this protest stuff happening, and then, more ramp up of severity too.
We went out for a drive today because what else are you going to do? And all the playground equipment has yellow police tape surrounding it.
All of it.
Yep. It's crazy. It's asinine.
And there's people sitting out on their porches, just sitting outside.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's like 1984 if you've read the novel.
Word.
But
yeah, so we've had when did the news come out that basically Iowa schools are canceled for the rest of the year?
Friday
was the news. So yesterday, I guess. Yeah, yesterday we had a big back and forth in our little texting group.
Were we the last state to do it? How many states are left?
There's well, I think before Friday it was around 20 to 23 states, so roughly half the country that closed schools for the rest of the year. Now I don't know where that's at right now, but I guess I just don't see like how places like Montana or North Dakota, where there's like 20 cases in the entire state, how they can justify shutting down school. Even Iowa. I mean, I don't agree with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Wild.
Well, can you
So-
make as good of an argument that schools should be open anyways because the children are like in the low risk category on all the metrics and that sort of thing, and
Yeah,
then they
but
build
then,
up an
you know,
immunity and I don't know, keep them away from grandma and grandpa or something like that.
Well, you can't keep them away from the 60-year-old teacher though that might have lung disease or something.
Hmm.
And that's a rare case too.
So maybe they could stay home, but then the
Yeah.
teachers under 55 or something could do all the teaching.
Yep. I don't disagree with you.
I heard an argument that okay, well let's like mandate all online then. We'll just have all our classes online and that'll be what you have to do. But I think the argument against that is not everybody has decent internet connection. Is that accurate?
Yeah, or internet in general.
Right.
And again, I'd like to see what percentage of the population doesn't have internet access. There's, Iowa law, educational law says that each kid has to have access to the same, or has a right to the same education as any other kid. So if you're giving one kid curriculum online where one other kid in the entire school district doesn't have internet, then that you're not giving equal access to all the kids.
I get the spirit of the law.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I disagree with it totally. But
like these are extenuating circumstances. I would think we're making exceptions in like every other area of the law. Why can't we make an exception for that and say you have to go to online class? And the question was asked of the governor in Friday's meeting. Do you have numbers on what percentage of students are actually participating in I think I'll just call it voluntary online classes the teachers are putting out now? Because in other states, it's very, very low, apparently. And governor said, no, we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, no idea.
How many.
Anecdotal.
Right. So that's interesting.
Yeah. It's just, it is the way it is. And it doesn't matter if you agree with it or disagree with it.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Of course, we've got all kinds of platitudes and things going on Facebook with people going into a deep state of depression, needing antidepressants because they miss their students so much. And it's driving me crazy, to be honest.
Oh.
And this is where I think we'll have some disagreement, hopefully.
I don't even.
Oh, do we have an Hey, Spurge, how are you? I see you're.
Well,
good.
Prince would never shop at Hy-Vee. He was not a corporate hack. He was, in fact,
You like my name, huh?
who did not follow the herd.
Brent shops at Hy-Vee Pharmacy.
Ooh, not cool, man. Not cool.
Just kidding. Spurge, I was going to ask you about that.
He died from pharmas, bro. That's super insensitive.
Sorry. I'm not very PC.
What were you going to ask me?
Well, we'll get back to our education chat here in a second, but when are you open for business and when can I transfer my scripts? And
We're shooting for June 1st. We have to, we passed our state inspection Wednesday, so we have an active pharmacy license. So I could sell cash, but we have to wait 4 to 6 weeks for the insurance companies to do their thing. So,
Gotcha. And is that as easy as, hey, Hy-Vee, I want to move my prescription?
you don't got to go to Hy-Vee. You just come to me. I'll take care of you, little Kevy.
All
Kyle.
right.
How dare you?
All right. Very good. Congrats on the house, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought one of those too.
It's a big week for Mr. Spurgeon.
Yeah, dude, I'm tired as hell. I'm making a pizza, so I'm going to have to. I have 5 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to cut it, and then I'll eat over there where I'm not so glistening.
Okay. Yeah, it's all good, man. So yeah, major adulting this week. Bought a house and the pharmacy and all that stuff.
I did buy a a 5-pack of Kraft macaroni and cheese when I was at the store earlier.
Yeah, good. You got to balance it out a little.
And olives. Yeah. You can't be getting too adult.
So, okay, that gives me an idea quick. What's everybody's like quarantine go-to food item?
Excellent.
Well, Cat's cupcakes are gone at our house. They were gone.
Ours are too.
Yeah. Man, go to quarantine food.
All right, so I'll go. I guess I think it was like 2 years ago. Cat's folks bought me like 3 huge industrial-sized packs of gluten-free ramen
From Costco.
So I've been working my way through that, and what we do is we'll like buy regular ramen, and I'll just take the flavor pack out of that and throw it in the gluten-free stuff.
So what do you do with the other noodles?
Cat eats it.
Oh, Cat eats it.
Okay.
I make my own
Not that.
sauce.
Yeah.
Do you jazz up your ramen with anything else, like an egg or other kind of stuff? Or
Nah, I haven't crossed that line yet.
Okay.
Not
But
that brave.
I think I'm about to.
yeah, man. Throw
When
an
I
egg
was
in
in
there.
Iowa City,
Some vegetables.
when I was in Iowa City, I did ramen with hot dogs.
Nice.
Every day.
God, that sounds awful.
That's
It
brutal.
was terrible. It just wrecked my gut.
Yeah, it's giving me
You know how many
heartburn just thinking
preservatives
about
are
it.
in that?
Oh man, it was bad.
I'll show you what I got.
Yeah, what are you doing?
It's purged.
I got the yakisoba.
Oh,
There
those
you
are
go.
good.
Oh
I
yeah.
like
Yeah.
those.
I'm kind of getting into them.
It's like one step up from top ramen.
Yeah.
It is.
Right.
It has little vegetables in it.
It's the top
Yeah.
shelf stuff. Yeah.
Vegetables. I mean, they're like freeze dried, so
Yeah,
I
they
guess
are.
they're probably real, but
They're real.
It used to be a vegetable. Add water. Yeah, I don't know. The quarantine's been
Yikes.
great at the Rosendahl house because like Laura's just at home and she cooks all the time and came home and got lunch and she made like chicken parmesan one day and stuff like that. It was stellar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Uh-oh. Internet's unstable. Do we want to get back into the school thing?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
can somebody frame the discussion a little bit for us?
I can try.
Yeah,
Go
ahead.
for it.
So, as we all know, the governor on Friday mandated not mandated yet, but recommended that schools close for the rest of the academic year. Now, they want districts to continue to provide enrichment activities and all that stuff. I won't get into the specifics, but yeah. So continue to provide enrichment activities until the end of the year. Whatever that looks like in your individual district is up to your administrators. But and then you see this social media outpouring of teachers just crying their hearts out, missing the kids and all this stuff. And you just wonder how much of that is genuine.
And it's my position that most of it is horse crap.
Kyle, are you
Because-
talking about men and women doing that or just women?
That's a good point, and that's what I thought we were going to get to as well. I have yet to see a male teacher, and I don't have I've got my circle of male teachers, I guess, that I associate with, but I don't see any male teachers doing that. Whether or not that's just, the difference between men and women, I don't know.
Mhm.
But
Here's my thought on why it's horse crap. Because
oh, there we go. I got it.
because teachers they're still being paid regular salary and they get a stimulus check. So they're doing nothing, getting paid, and then getting another check on top of it. So how can you genuinely be sad with that in mind? Like if that was happening to me, I'd be overjoyed. I don't have to work. I get paid and I get a bonus check. Pandemics every year, I'd be arguing. Let's have one next year too. It'd be great.
I would argue that your statement, your assertion that teachers are doing nothing.
Okay.
I mean,
I missed something.
there's a lot of great teachers out there that are doing as much as they can.
Which is what? Clicking a few buttons and sharing a YouTube video?
It's different.
You're so rude.
It's different for every teacher, but it's hard when you can't. And this is where I really, 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 really strongly feel passionate about where we can't introduce any new learning.
Oh, wait a minute. We just kind of glossed over that. What's that all about?
Jimmy's having a heart attack.
Lost him. He might be on the floor. Yeah, there he is.
Sorry, guys.
No new learning. What's this about?
Yeah, well,
that doesn't sound like something a school would say.
It goes back to the point we mentioned before, where each kid has to have the same opportunity as each other kid by law to learn the material. And if you introduce something new to one kid and then the other, Joe Schmo that doesn't have a pot to pee in doesn't have internet, then you're violating that order or law or whatever.
What about the IEPs, Kyle?
Yeah, that's why the law exists, is because of the IEPs. I don't know. I really have a problem with that because now you're catering to a very small population.
So if there's no new learning, what kind of enrichment activities are you supposed to do? Just stuff that reinforces other things like basic math
and
yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm just pretty much going back through my old curriculum and just what I do is I video chat or I record myself giving a quasi lesson and then they have to respond back to it. But there's no good answer. It's just old stuff that they've already had before. So
right.
I don't know. It doesn't really affect high school as much as it will affect elementary kids, where they're learning to read, they're learning to do math and things like that. But whereas in high school, you have your skills already and you can move on.
Also, I'd like to complain that I pay taxes towards these school districts. What am I getting for my tax money now? YouTube videos.
In some cases, yeah. In other cases, teachers are going above and beyond. What would you expect for your tax dollars if we had the situation we're in now? So if school is canceled for the rest of the year, what would you expect? What are your expectations?
Excellent question, Kyle. I would expect formal, structured online learning through a learning management system with assignments.
Are you going to make sure that all the kids have?
Yep, you have to make sure.
Wi-Fi.
So no, I would make an exception to the law that says if you have access to this stuff, reasonable access, and you could say, well, what does that mean? But reasonable access means you must participate.
I agree.
Can't go anywhere to participate if you don't have, the libraries are closed even.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's where the exception would be.
Right.
Because
I've seen Esterville schools, they say, come to the school at 3:00 and pick up your Chromebook. That's a great idea.
Yep.
Check them out for people who don't have access to that stuff. Now, obviously, you still have the internet connection issue, but.
Yeah, and I brought all my materials home when the axe was kind of coming down. I brought all my textbooks home and my document camera because I was ready to do online lessons, and I'm more than happy to do that. It's not a whole lot of work, to be honest.
Finally he admits it.
Lecture for an hour, 4 periods a day, and the actual teaching part's not a lot of work. Now grading and all that stuff would be, but
oh my word. I once had a professor complain about how hard his job was because he has to lift his right arm and write on the board all day, and he goes home and it's so sore.
Is that the one that made you call him Dr. Professor?
Oh,
No.
and Iowa Lakes.
Oh.
Professor, I think that might have been Cuckoo, Professor Cuckoo.
Oh,
Dude was
What
bonkers.
kind of name is that?
KU.
That was his actual name?
Yeah, he was the worst teacher I ever had. But,
Well, so
but
yeah. Sorry, Kevin. Don't let me put
Go
words
ahead.
in your mouth. But so you think there would be some way to put together a system where school could essentially function by and large?
yeah, for say 90% of the students.
Yep.
And yeah, there'd be 10% who would fall through the cracks, but so what? Consider the situation we're in. But instead what we're doing is saying, I don't know, I don't have any data. Let's just do nothing. Here's some optional activities that I've heard stats as low as 20% of the students are participating in.
yep. Des Moines, I don't know if it has to be public, I guess. Des Moines area public schools. They're doing their online curriculum for grade. So they take attendance for online stuff and they give a grade. So essentially it's just school without being at the school, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know how they work around the law. That I have no idea how they do that, but I agree. I mean, if it were up to me and I had all the almighty powers, I'd rewrite the legislation and then mandate that kids are checking into class and they're doing the work and they're doing it for a grade.
Right. And of course,
Go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
I was just going to say, of course, there'd be ways to get around it and fake it and click present and go play outside. Of course, there'll be ways to get around it, but to not even try.
Yeah.
Like that speaks volumes to me anyway.
Dude, I did that when I was taking online classes.
Of course, yeah.
Let the video play and go do something else.
That's the other thing too. You've got these parents who are saying little Johnny deeply misses his coursework and longs for the day when he can be reunited with his teacher. Like, what kid is that? When I was that age, to have a pandemic, I'd be thrilled.
Oh, God.
Except you like staying in the basement and playing video games, and not everyone does.
Yes, I do.
Kyle, do you happen to know what other states are doing? Like, what's Minnesota's approach to do you have any idea?
Yeah, no, I can't really comment on that. I'm not sure.
I don't know for sure, but I don't think Minnesota's fully canceled the year yet.
You might be right on that, Scourge. Although, I mean, it's probably inevitable.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're still on a stay-at-home order.
Yeah. Yeah.
But. Yeah, my boss lives in, I think, Jackson, and he's on lockdown, can never go into the office, basically. Yeah, compared to us, where it's suggested that we stay at home.
That's another thing. Like, they required us employees of the school not to cross state lines. So even if we went up to Jackson for supper or something, we'd have to 14-day quarantine.
My girlfriend who works in the hospital, same way.
Yeah, it's nuts.
She just came up to visit me for the weekend and had to wear then had to mask 24/7 while she was at the hospital.
Jeez.
But now they're on face shields and masks the whole time they're there. I had to go up to the hospital in Esterville to get some life insurance, blood draw, and pee in a cup type stuff, and it was eerie how dead it is there.
Yeah.
There's 3 cars in the parking lot when I went. There's a lady in lines that you can't cross when you get there. They check your they check your temp and ask you a bunch of screening questions. Then they write your temp on a sticky note and ask you where you're going. And I'm like, well, I got to go to the lab and then go to the clinic. So they wrote lab clinic 97.3 or whatever. And I had to carry my sticky note as my hall pass.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, Catherine, you identify with the teachers, yes?
The female teachers, yes.
Mm-hmm. So
What-
you would feel deeply depressed and moved and drawn to tears if you were in this situation.
Yeah, probably.
Why?
Hard-hitting questions.
I should have thought about this harder before we did. I don't know if I should name names or not, but I think of my friend Liz. Too late.
Yeah, we all know her.
Okay, she is so sweet, and she teaches, I think it's first grade, second grade. Really loves her kids, and she is, I mean, I haven't even talked to her. I just know that she's probably very sad and misses them. And she was in the teacher parade that drove by right through our neighborhood, and she was waving to all the kids. And I think she said on Facebook she had like a Zoom meeting with some other teachers for a few hours, and they just all miss each other. So if you actually love your job and you're a teacher because you actually care about the kids, I can see how you would miss them.
That's quite the assertion there, Kat.
Yeah.
The conclusion I'm getting then is if you don't gush on Facebook, then you don't like the kids.
Correct. Kyle hates children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be it.
That's not what I meant, but
No,
I think well, Kevin keeps accusing everyone of being fake, and I would say at least in her case, it's very genuine.
I mean, Liz is a sweetheart. There's no doubt about that. But I think it's different too with elementary kids and just the younger kids in general. I guess I don't see the need or what like how you get off of going on Facebook and saying how much you miss another adult's kid.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Why do you feel the need to share your depression on Facebook like that?
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy,
If y'all are dudes, that's why.
Well, Jim, when your kid gets into high school and I teach him, wouldn't it be weird if I posted on Facebook, man, I miss Jimmy's kid so much?
Yep.
And
I don't think you would say a specific one. I think you would just say you miss your students, which is totally fine and normal.
yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, it's normal. I don't know.
I'll draw a parallel, and I think Kat's heard this complaint before, but like, if I really like to code, and hey, if one day I didn't get to code anymore, I couldn't write a single line of code for like a month. However, I'd still be paid like I normally was, and I'd get a bonus check on top of it. Code? What code? Never write another line of code. I'm getting paid, baby, for doing nothing.
You're comparing text on a screen to human beings.
Oh, nerd. And they're only 12 feet away.
Yeah. Looks like I'm in the doghouse tonight, fellas.
Yeah. I mean, what do I say? It's just- I don't know.
I guess it's, yeah. My question is, like, I don't obviously hold these extreme views, but like deep down to the core of it is, well, okay, why should you continue to be paid for doing nothing or not as much? Like other jobs don't get that.
I think it'd be in the contract, wouldn't it?
Yep. So we're under contract. I mean, the argument would be that we're still providing service to the kids. It's just whether or not the kids do it.
And the amount of service you're providing. I mean, you're contracted for X number of hours.
Yep. And we have to, I mean, we document everything we do with the kids. So any type of interaction that you provide or that you use to get your information across is documented. And again, it's whether or not the kids do it. So we are required to put something out there. And there's different requirements for how much you have to do in a week. And that, you know, what that looks like is different for each subject that you teach. But I guess I would refute your argument that teachers are doing nothing, because that's not necessarily true.
True, they're not doing nothing, but they're certainly not doing 8 hours of work a day like they normally would be.
Yeah, but is anybody that's working from home?
I would say I actually do more at home because I don't have like coworkers interrupting me all the time.
But most people probably.
Yeah, I guess I understand your argument. That's for sure. But,
all right, so I'll be taking the rest of my taxes back.
no, you won't. Not unless you want to go through the union, baby.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're going to fight tooth and nail.
Are you in the union, Kyle?
You bet I am, even though I'm not a Democrat.
Oh.
He's the leader of the union.
Lily.
I said you are.
Oh,
sorry,
me?
I'm holding my laptop like this because the speakers are really awful, and I can't hear unless because they're on the bottom of the computer.
Gotcha.
Really poor design.
Yeah, I am not a union. I mean, I pay my dues. Just, I mean, it's $70 or something to
$70.
Reassurance, I guess. But
I think Kevin's was like 40.
No, it went up to 70 at the end.
It did? Oh.
Yep.
What if we started another union?
There is another one. There's a competing union that's cheaper in the school district. I can't remember what it's called, but
really,
Jim, you want to start? You want to draw those papers up?
Sure.
Let's start a union.
The Podcasters Guild.
Yeah.
That's right.
We'll force YouTube to pay us.
Yeah, man. We're slaving away, cranking out this quality content once a month.
We need a professional sign maker.
Yeah, we
to
do.
go to Washington.
Yep. Do some picketing.
Yep.
What? I don't think you have to be a Democrat to be in the teachers union, do you?
no, I mean, it's common sense, I think, because there's so many, liability issues that you can get with kids. And yeah, I mean, I'm as far away from left as I've ever been in my life, and I still support our union. So
this is interesting. Like the argument for the union is that you have protection and representation if a student got a wild hair and wanted to sue you. But like, shouldn't the school have your back on that stuff? Why do they get scared and run tail, the opposite direction and not defend you if something happened like that? I've never heard of a school like backing a teacher when something like that happens.
yeah, I mean, in case they're wrong, I mean, then the student or then the school as a whole represents the entire populace of teachers and staff. Then they look bad if they're wrong. Whereas the union, if they get it wrong, then it's just the teacher that's fired. But I don't know. Yeah, I agree.
It just seems weird that you have to have this intermediary there to defend you.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't your employer do that?
And they lobby for wages too. So it's like,
yeah, they do. And we've had this discussion.
If you're not in the union, can you still benefit from the wage lobbying?
Yep.
So if you watch your back and you don't show up to teach naked or something like that, or, don't get involved in a sexual manner with one of your students or something, such as you would create like a lawsuit, then you could still get the salary benefits and then not pay the dues. Am I under that pattern? Is that accurate?
Even if you do find yourself in that situation where there's a false accusation or something, you just hire your own lawyer.
Yeah, you could.
Oh,
you bet.
That's interesting because, I know, think about construction unions and places where they're union and non-union workers, and there are different rules. Like union workers get their breaks. Non-union workers don't. Things like
Really? I
that
didn't
at
know
the
that.
hospital.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like the nature of the work, maybe in the union, there's differences there.
Well, I'll put a cap on my argument by saying somebody's got to hold these teachers accountable, and I've deemed myself that person.
I just want to see one really hardcore teacher say, "I'm glad that school is canceled."
Yeah, I know.
I hope they cancel next year too. And Kyle is going to be that guy.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
What do you think? What do you think would happen if you did that?
Would you get
I don't
fired?
know.
I think the union would come in and protect you. Surely, wouldn't they?
Surely, there's no misconduct.
Freedom of speech.
Just because you're a teacher doesn't mean you lose your First Amendment right.
Unless there's a pandemic.
Whoa.
Yeah, then the
Then
use
the
the Constitution
Constitution
as
is
toilet
torn
paper
up,
because
right?
we're running out.
There was
Hey,
a
bud.
teacher in your area that was let go because they said something a few years ago. You know which one I'm talking about, Kevin?
No.
He said something about like a bomb or something like that.
Oh, at the college, yeah.
I don't know when that was, but
Oh, yeah.
you
As-
can't
as a-
necessarily say whatever you want.
No, I mean, yeah, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater, but
Mhm.
But he didn't say that at work, I don't think. Oh,
I think he did.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he did in a hallway or something.
Ugh,
But
okay.
They took it pretty seriously.
Hmm.
That dude was weird. He had an old beater like creeper van that said "We'll teach physics for food" on the back of it, spray painted.
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Was that a mod without naming names?
No, I don't remember his name, to be honest. I do. He wasn't there long.
I just want to say, no one cares, but probably Ahmad is such a sweet person.
Yeah,
I don't know how many people know that, but he is.
he gets a bad rap, but he just he teaches a hard class.
Yeah.
So
You know what creeped me about all the teacher posts? How are all these teacher posting about they want to just be hugging children? Why are they just hugging children all day?
Yeah, no
I know.
kidding.
Like,
I just want to give my children hugs. I don't know, man. Like, I get it. Little kids run up, they grab your leg or something, but you don't just be hugging them all day.
Yeah. Get that teachers union defense council on the speed dial, I think. A few too many hugs.
no, it's male, female. I think
Uh-huh.
females have the softer heart. Males are
Stone cold.
Oh, why don't you hug your kid?
rational.
Rational. Yeah. Comparing children to lines of code.
Yeah. Oh, funny. Did anybody have a video or anything like that?
Well, I didn't really, but I'd be curious to hear from the panel when they thought this might be over and we get back to some sense of
Oh.
normalcy. I stand by my prediction of the end of the month.
Okay. So
The
yeah,
end
we
of
got
what?
a little like 2
This
weeks
month?
roughly maybe of
Yeah.
Oh, end of April?
Yeah.
No way.
I
don't
think we
think so.
start phase 1 May 1.
Okay. What's phase 1 look like?
Well, didn't you listen to Daddy's outline?
I did
Phase
not,
1
sadly.
He had a 3-point plan.
Yep, 3-point plan. Phase 1, I believe, is where non-essentials can go back to work. Correct me if I'm wrong. They still recommend 6 feet distance and no
Work
gathering.
from home if you can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No gatherings larger than 10. Blah blah blah.
50.
50. Is that right?
50's phase 1, I think.
Okay. And then after phase 1, then it starts getting a little more lax. Phase and that's 2 weeks after phase 1 with no spikes in cases, and then phase 3, I believe, is not normal, but as close to normal as we can be right now, I think.
Does any of this include Bill Gates injecting us all with his serum?
This is microchip.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 5G towers. It's activated by the serum.
Bill Gates' serum.
So Kevin, your prediction is April 30th of what? Phase 1 or
Just
back to
I would
normal?
say like just general population doesn't care anymore. Like
Okay.
it may still be like the disease may still be around, of course, and spreading, but nobody will care. Is kind of my big thing.
Well, we're seeing that already. I mean, look
Yeah.
at Michigan.
Yeah, so maybe more of the widespread Michigander attitude.
Yep.
You can only keep people locked down so long. I mean, it's gonna blow up.
Yep.
It's going to cause another spike. I mean, these protests, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Survival of the fittest.
I guess.
Yep. Well, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, I guess. I don't know. It's the one set of rules for the entire continental United States has been something that I've raised an eyebrow at, but I guess I've sort of belaboring the point I made earlier, but I'll be curious to see if some different like tailoring and sort of regionally specific sets of restrictions and that sort of thing would still be effective by and large.
It's
To
interesting
be
you mentioned
fair, I
that.
mean, isn't that kind of what we have? Is we have these general CDC guidelines, and then we have governors implementing them as they see fit.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think there's also been a lot of keeping up with the Joneses too
Yes.
among governors.
Yes.
Sorta.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, like Kim Reynolds, for example, has taken a lot of flack for her non-stay-at-home order. But then I've also heard at the same time that like the nuts and bolts of what is in place is effectively the same for the most part, yada yada. So I don't know. I don't have time to sit and compare the minutia of every single state's set of restrictions and so on and so forth. And that, I guess that's a point of federalized system of government, that stuff can be administered and that sort of thing. But, you know, I guess what I'm thinking of are, you know, more of a wide range. So like, okay, if we feel like the rapid spread and high rates of infection and that are like more prevalent in densely populated areas, then maybe they've got a heavier set of restrictions as opposed to Montana or something like that.
Yeah.
I love how Montana is always used as an
Yep.
example, as being this
Wyoming.
desolate
Yeah.
nowhere land.
Well, everybody's
USA.
got like a rustic cabin in a mountain by the woods up there. And,
Yeah.
you know, you're 10 miles from your nearest neighbor, and
Yep.
sounds great.
Hashtag off the grid. Some controversy going on in the chat.
Sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Give me a rundown quick. I'm not even watching what's up there.
I like Jimmy's glasses. Tony Condon had to split. And the fangirl says, is the new girl going to steal my man? Hashtag Kevin's girl.
Which one of you is it?
Who's the fangirl?
That's a mystery. That's
Yeah,
been
we still
To
can't
be
solve it.
decided.
that's been
Eric
hotly
Hansen.
debated since the beginning. So
We've got a few theories. But I don't,
Yeah.
know.
You know,
I don't know if we've honed in on it yet or not.
I'll have to track some IP addresses.
Yep. Yeah, we might have to. Do some hacking.
Yeah.
My face hurts.
Well, so Spurge, what do you think is the reasonable timetable for like a reopening or return to normalcy, that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, projections are peak at the end of the month.
Mhm.
I think you got to give it time after the peak. Otherwise, you're going to have a later delayed peak of exposure.
Mhm.
So I'm going June 1. I mean, I think we'll have semblances. So I think maybe mid-May, things will start to loosen up a bit. But I don't think we see any huge progress till June 1.
Okay.
Do we need to talk about the projections and the models?
Oh man,
How wrong those were?
That's
like Hillary
that's
winning in
interesting.
2016.
I mean, projections are just that, though. They are projections. You use the best available data you have. And right
Yes.
now, our data is shit because we don't test.
And yet we're making these huge decisions off of crappy data.
So we have to get better data. How do we do that?
Of course.
We test.
I don't know. I'm not in the.
We test.
Yeah.
More people.
And when you test, your percentage or your death percentage or your mortality is going to go way down, and people are going to say, what the heck are we isolated for if 0.001% of the people who get this disease are going to die?
Well, it's not 0.001.
I know, but I'm being hyperbolic.
It's 0.01 is flu. It's higher than that. It's significantly higher than that. Is it 2-3%? No, I don't think so. But you don't
So
know.
is that worth spinning our economy into a depression?
Just send you another $1,200.
That's true. Socialism for the win.
Yeah, the projections discussion was an interesting one. So, I mean, my recollection of stuff was the initial stuff was a high amount of cases projected, quite a few deaths too. And that is I could be misremembering, pulling a Brian Williams or whatever, but I feel like there was even in the millions of deaths projected. Yes. And that was with social distancing and lockdowns and stuff factored in.
Right.
Am I off base there, or?
That's so I'll put it this way. The way people were talking about it, that was at least my impression.
Okay.
As to how serious it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, if it's that serious, then sure, we probably should be locking down and sheltering in place and all these precautions. But the models were this is like, I don't want to get into climate change, but this is like the conservative argument against like all the climate data and all those projections. Like it's just modeling.
That's science, though. That's literally how you do science.
Yes, of course. But when you're making, again, it's the quality of the data. And when you have real world huge ramifications based on crap data, then that's what people are going to argue against and have a problem with.
I don't know how the climate change data is crap data. I mean,
I didn't mean that. I meant I don't want to go there.
And our data is getting better daily on the COVID stuff.
Right, and we're loosening up daily, maybe I would argue. Like the last when the governor spoke last week, like Thursday and Friday, it sounded like she was getting a little bit more optimistic and hopeful.
Yeah, 26th was our revised peak as of last week when I looked.
Right.
On the CDC. They broke it down state by state.
So what is the country at, like what, 31,000 deaths or something in this 3-month thing?
Something
Isn't there there's like a live website you can go to and
just
track that crap.
Isn't that kind of morbid though? You see little ticks and boom, one person died. Oh, another one. Oh, I got to refresh. See how many people died now.
It's like a video game.
Yeah.
They're concentrated though, like in New York and one other.
Yeah.
The other one.
But I'd like to see that comparison within the last 3 months to people who die from,
flu.
I don't know, pneumonia or flu or something like that. And I get it that this is a new thing. It's novel. It's significantly more contagious than influenza and all that stuff. But I mean, data or numbers don't lie, where the original projection was 1 million and then 500,000 and then 100,000 and now it's 60,000. How, I mean, this is going to affect my pocketbook more than it is my lungs.
No, it's not. You're a teacher.
Right.
Yeah.
But if the numbers go down, it means what we're doing is working.
That's
Right.
Does it, or does it mean that it was all overblown?
No.
I mean, how can you say that? The variable is that we did all these extreme measures and we're seeing less cases.
Well, weren't at least some of the projections
So Sweden didn't do shit. They're going for herd immunity and they're getting slaughtered.
But well, maybe I'm misremembering again, but I feel like some of the projections initially with the high numbers had factored in the social distancing and the lockdowns and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but
No, I think he said without social distancing, we'd have about 2 million deaths.
Okay.
Is what the number Trumpy keeps talking about anyway.
Yeah, it'd be nice to pull that up sometime, take a look at it and see.
He says it every day around 5.
So, yeah, I don't pay any attention, but
I acted very early. If we wouldn't have done anything, it would have been 2 million deaths.
Yep.
Now they're saying a couple 100,000, no big deal.
based on what though?
China.
Did you guys see the what do they call it? The update, the daily briefing, where it was basically a Trump rally where he played
Oh,
a video and it was beautiful.
Spectacular.
I don't want to see that. Don't play it.
Oh, it was ridiculous. He forgot the month of February in his little like montage to himself.
Hey, he's got bipartisan support, baby. Just watch the clips.
I think that he could have gotten a better video editor with some nice crossfades and like star wipes and stuff, but it's still glorious.
Dude, nothing says Trump like a star white and a crossfade. Like, because he's still into the whole gold and white theme that was popular in the 80s or in Dubai.
Yes.
You know? It's
The best part of it is that the media had to watch it. They had to sit there. They had no choice.
And if you there's a video out there, usually when you watch them, it's like in a zoom in on the video that's playing, but like there's one out there, some reporter did a wide shot where you can see Trump as the video is playing and he's like looking in the audience and pointing at people as it's talking about them, calling them out. Oh, so good.
Oh, the biggest troll ever. I love it.
Yes.
Embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I think I said in our text chat, like the troll in me is just leaping for joy, but then the serious side of me is sad, weeping.
Yeah.
Well, at least you have more than one side.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want in 2021? Do you want entertainment or do you want business as usual? I want
Right.
entertainment, baby.
And I'd like to remind everybody again that the Party of Diversity and Inclusion has nominated a rich old white guy.
Yep. Who likes to sniff hair.
Yeah.
Man, that's something. Though I spend a lot of nights just watching Biden gaffes. And there's something to it. He's
awful.
He's definitely not all there.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't heard much. That all that stuff has completely fallen off the radar.
No one's. I mean, Trump's campaigning at the press briefings, but no one else is.
Yes.
Yep, interesting stuff. I haven't heard much out of the Bernie people either. What's the pulse on that? Do any of you guys know?
He endorsed Biden. And
Yeah, I'd heard that much, but are people like super pissed off about that, or?
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a get burned twice. You just, you know, I'm pretty sure the mentality amongst my fellow commies is to just, you know, we have to vote for Biden
Yeah.
because Trump's that terrible of a human.
Is there anybody that's gonna just not vote or something out of protest or something? Or
I'd imagine there'll be those. I mean, Biden's not going to get the turnout that a Bernie candidacy would. Period. And I feel like the moderate Dems would have voted for Bernie, but I don't know that all of the far left folks are going to vote for Biden. I think a lot of them will stay home. I anticipate fully Trump 2020.
As a self-confessed commie, Andy, do you feel like, were you a Bernie bro, first of all?
Yeah, absolutely.
So do you feel like robbed at all, or do you feel like he was given a fair shake?
No, I absolutely feel robbed. I feel robbed the same way. I mean, in a different way than in 2016, but it's the same old shit. It's the establishment. I mean, it is the DNC.
Yep.
You know, it puts the Biden on the skin, or else it gets the Trump again.
What was that?
There's this great meme that had from Silence of the Lambs. It had Buffalo Bill labeled as the DNC, putting Biden in a bucket, lowering it down to Bernie in the hole. Said, and puts the Biden on the skin, or else it gets the Trump again. You know, that the coalescing around Biden by the others was so, and the late departure by Warren, who had no chance. Like it was choreographed perfectly. Brilliant political maneuvering. But it sucks.
Yeah, I was secretly pulling for Sanders. I would have loved to see Trump and Sanders, because then obviously I'd still be voting for Trump, but I wouldn't be that sad if Sanders won, because he's an outsider, and I like that.
Correct. And I think that debate would have been great, because Bernie doesn't bite on the trolls. He just goes, no. The 1/10 of 1% and goes into his spiel, right? Yeah. He doesn't bite and be like, and pull some like Clinton hack stuff where, now I don't speak like this man over here, and then thank God and the DNC, and it's I don't know. It's annoying.
The Trump Biden debates are going to be. That's popcorn popping, pour a drink, whatever. That is entertainment to a T. And when that happens, if that happens because of this virus, it's just gonna be.
What did Biden say? He said it was, or Joe Rogan said something about those debates. It was like, it's like putting Urkel in the ring with Muhammad Ali, or something akin to that imagery, where, because Trump's just gonna pound him.
Oh God,
it's gonna be brutal.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time to be alive.
I just hope they happen. I mean, this whole Corona thing, I could see
be a Zoom debate.
Oh God. Trump can't
you imagine Trump trying to do the cyber.
Oh, that'd be great.
You should see Barron. He does the cyber. He's awesome at the cyber.
Hillary Clinton had her techno experts.
Everybody needs a techno expert. If you can't be your own, that is. Right?
That's right.
Did you see that there was one of the first constitutional challenges to the stay-at-home stuff?
No, I didn't.
It got filed the other day. It was at some church down in Arkansas, Alabama.
Okay.
Somewhere south.
Sure.
It was filing against the First Amendment violation against the state.
Sure.
But I don't know if that's something that'll have enough juice to get all the way up or not.
Yeah, I don't know. The easy. Well, it won't be anytime soon because I know every court in the country is basically punted for the next 60 days. So
yeah,
even if
Supreme Court's meeting virtually right now.
Okay. Yeah.
But
yeah,
but their docket's still been slid.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if they rendered any decisions during the pandemic at all, or I mean, if they had, it's probably some that they had done for a while. Would be my guess.
Yeah, I think there was an opinion release, but I don't know if they've done any official like hand downs.
Yep.
Because there's a case that was supposed to be done in June, decided in June that I've been following, PBMs versus the state of Arkansas, and I think that's getting pushed off till at least end of summer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Pretty much. Well, I can tell you for regular old Iowa District Court, we're still doing as much telephonically as possible. But if it's any kind of contested matter or something like that, it's all been pushed off till June, July.
So essentially, you're getting paid for doing nothing.
No, I'm not getting paid because you don't bill unless you're actually in court. Or
Amazing.
No, Kyle, we actually have to do work to get paychecks. It's wild.
Yeah, and if you do bill and you don't do anything, then you get disbarred. So.
I mean, you can always go back to the abstract office, Jim.
Yeah, I don't know. I doubt it.
Or the Grand Theater.
Yeah, the theater, maybe I could get back in there, but
they're selling large popcorns curbside.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
$6.50.
I've noticed.
Bitchin'.
I hope they're able to get a little coming into the door. But
I have a popcorn machine right there. I'll sell it to you for $5.
You want to get rid of it, huh?
Yeah.
Put it in the pharmacy.
There you go.
Then I wouldn't have it in my house, though.
Yeah.
Have Popcorn Tuesdays or something. I don't know. Free
I'm gonna have
small
a
bag.
gumball machine,
Nice.
which is right. Where is it? Oh, you can't see it. It's behind the chair.
Nice.
Kevin,
Gumball
your-
machine's wrong.
yeah, your joke about, I think it was you that that old like cat memory thing and like put the Alzheimer's pills in there or something and like follow the pattern or whatever it was and you hit the button.
It's yeah.
What was that called again from Godfathers? I can't remember that.
How's your memory? Want to try?
Oh yeah.
How's your memory? Want to try?
Oh.
Wasn't it like the cat's meow or something like that?
Yeah.
God, trying to enjoy a pizza and it's just over and over and over.
Dude, that thing was still there the day I signed my lease.
Really?
Yep. That was there. The big giant gumball machine with the spinny.
Yep.
And then there was like a pinball machine with bouncy balls.
Oh, nice.
All those were there.
So is that yours then?
No, they took it.
No.
Along with the pizza ovens. You know what's really going to grind my gears though, and it already kind of is the can I get a pizza with my statin drug?
Oh yeah.
Jokes.
That'll
Good.
take a while to go away.
Yeah.
Dude, I just had it at the grocery store when I went tonight.
Oh
And I was like, hey, can I get a taco pizza with my blood pressure?
No, that's not a bad business idea though.
Pizza and pills?
Maybe you
Terrible
can slick
idea.
pizzas in the back.
You can just put drugs on the pizza.
There you go.
Nice.
And if someone wants like a combo, you could mix up something wicked.
Yeah, there you go.
Wash it down with some insulin, call it a day. You're drumming up business, really. I mean, that's why I always keep the candy jar right by the register.
Exactly.
Spurge's Pizza and Pills.
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 That was the second in line for the name.
Just have flashy lights. Pills.
Pills.
Oh, that's funny.
Funny. Yeah, man.
Oh, well, what else you got on that document, Jimbo?
Nothing. That was it.
Oh, okay.
You guys got anything you want to discuss? I'd be happy to oblige.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Jim, go to did you check out the Malarkey meter on Facebook, you guys? Y'all added.
Yeah, I saw you added me. I got to do that.
Yeah, let's go to your website quick. What's it?
So that's a play on Joe Biden's No Malarkey tour he did. For a month, he traveled in a bus, and it was called the Oh, Reddit has one. Damn it.
Where is what's your website?
That one, the Malarkey Meter website, Facebook.
Okay.
Right there. Oh, yeah, that should do it. No, that's not it. I don't know what it is then.
Okay.
If you go to malarkeymeter.com, that is like the main page.
Okay.
But it doesn't have all the updates that we've had on the Facebook. I came up with the right one. The get out of here, Jack. That's pure malarkey. Because Biden's always trying to be folksy.
Yeah. Oh, malarkey here.
What's the story? So you and your buddies set this up or something? And
yeah, it was just an afternoon, and we were I said I bought EstervilleRx.com. And so Kyle's like, oh, okay. And we had been talking about malarkey, and that was kind of our ongoing thing. So not you, Kyle, my former roommate, Kyle. And so he's like, well, I just bought malarkeymeter.com, and we're going to put websites up, and you can vote on the level of malarkey that was involved. But then he got a bill for like $200 from GoDaddy or something because his free trial ran out of the software used to just do this.
Yeah.
And so then we moved it to Facebook, keeping this, but we got the Facebook group now where we're trying to build a following.
Okay.
Got a lot of side projects, Jim.
Yeah, man. Quite a few irons in the fire.
Yeah.
For a guy that's buying a house and setting up a business.
Got to have a malarkey meter admin on there. That's going on my CV for sure.
Good deal.
I just couldn't, when he's trying to be, you always think of the Democrat candidate, they're going to try to get the young vote out, youth tends to vote Democrat. And then Biden names his bus tour the Malarkey, the No Malarkey tour.
Oh, no.
I mean, malarkey is that word maybe from like the 20s. I don't know, like Newsies time.
Definitely antique, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how old is Biden? Like 80 something or 75 or?
Yeah,
he
Trump's
was like
the youngest candidate.
He was younger than a little younger than Bernie, maybe like by 11 months.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, Trump is a spring chicken now, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Biden's 77.
Okay.
Born in middle of World War II.
Yeah, well, he's just getting into his prime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just look at those veneers, man.
Yep.
That was a fun. There was a Reddit page or a Reddit post during the debates in 2016, the Republican debates, and he was going through and he was an oral surgeon or a cosmetic oral surgeon, so he did all implants, veneers, that kind of stuff, and he was going through and showing like dissecting what everyone had done and how much it had probably cost, and every single person on that stage. There was 10 or 11 or so. I don't know. There's a ton of Republicans in 16 running. Not as many as Democrats in 19, but it was wild, the things he was able to point out and how fake everyone's teethers are.
Yep. Yeah, I think Joe Exotic's ex-husband got new teeth. I swear
Yeah,
I
he
saw him
did.
in an interview the other day. And
Oh,
had
nice.
a nice set of pearly whites because he had like one tooth previously, as I recall.
He had 3. Okay.
Okay, well, yeah, pardon me. Margin of error. But
And that is why I'm probably going to rewatch that again.
I'm rewatching it with Megan right now. We got through 3 episodes and then she had to go home. So when she comes back, we're going to burn through the rest again.
God, Travis's funeral is just, oh my God.
He'd come behind you and he'd just put those balls right in your face.
God.
good grief. Rude.
That was pretty brutal. Have you guys seen so the other one to watch that's on Amazon Prime right now is called The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
Oh, no. I haven't seen that.
Pull the IMDb on that one, Jimbo.
Okay. Wild
It's,
what and something's.
The Wild and Wonderful Whites. There it is.
I'll have to look at that. I have Amazon Prime.
It's a dick house, so it's Johnny Knoxville's group.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And it's about this family down in West Virginia, and they're the family of this Jethro White, who is the tap dancing outlaw, the last mountain man who tap danced across the whatever. But they just do drugs and get arrested and are just ridiculously white trash and fantastic.
Oh, great quarantine TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you betcha.
What else?
Eccentric backwoods family.
Yeah, what was your line? Somebody told me about it. Third party Kevin, obviously, I guess, but he said it was like, "Oh, this is a show to make you feel better about yourself," or something like that. I think.
Yeah.
So true.
Similar to Kardashians in that regard.
Yeah, the Kardashians.
Wow, this makes me feel like a really good person.
Exactly.
Laura she's got like this talent where she can find a Friends rerun no matter the time of day or whatever. Like it could be 4 a.m. or 9 a.m. or and just Friends is on TV.
I never got on the Friends bandwagon.
I didn't either.
Nope.
I'm not a fan.
I think we've got the whole series on DVD around the corner. If you guys,
Yep, I got it.
Oh yeah.
I don't really watch it, but I have it.
Yep.
We tried it. It just felt too scripted. I don't know. It's so different than the way TV is today.
That's true.
Kevy, the entire Community collection is on Netflix right now.
I saw that. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, no, I gotta jump back in that.
I've heard it's really good. I've never watched an episode.
Yeah,
Pop,
it's funny. It's good stuff.
What's that
It
about?
is so true.
What?
What's that one about?
Community college.
Oh, community. Okay.
Called Community.
It's
Chevy
eerily
Chase?
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like their college was built on top of a rendering plant. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
So many similarities. We just died laughing.
Okay. And is this a new thing or?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I've never heard of it before.
Isn't the what's his name? The doctor, the little Asian dude who was in Hangover in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, what's his name?
He's Abed on the show.
No, not Abed.
The Asian.
Oh, Kim Jong.
Yeah.
Ken Jeong, I think, right?
Yeah.
Ken Jeong.
Yeah.
Who's actually like a cardiologist.
Yeah, he's a doctor.
He's my favorite, and he had his own show after that. I was really excited about it, but it did not stay on.
Oh, bummer.
I think he's the
funny.
Spanish teacher.
Yep.
Oh, his first scene is hilarious. It's one of my favorite scenes ever.
Oh, there's a mask. I was masked up at Walmart this morning, Spurge. I looked like a burglar.
Good for you.
Are you really, Jim?
Well, I wouldn't have done it but for Laura being pregnant, I guess. But yeah, I did.
When's your baby coming? Tomorrow?
Pretty soon. The due date got bumped up.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Well,
1st of May-ish, right in there.
Jimbo.
So the final countdown has started, yeah.
I gotta hurry up on my project.
Trey is going to be here before you know it.
Could be, yeah.
Trey?
I'm thinking...
Edward James Rosendahl the third.
My short list for names are Chad, Tad...
Thad. Brad.
Brad, yep. It's anything with
And
an
Leroy.
ad in it. Pick a consonant and then add.
Better than Aiden, Zayden, Hayden, Caden, Baden, Jaden.
You just dissed a lot of people.
Yeah, man. We're going to lose subs over that one.
Oh, sorry.
Any anger in the chat from Tony too?
He had to bail.
Yeah.
Oh, bummer.
He told me congrats on the time off, though.
We got some Eric Hansen material.
Oh, we could, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Then I got to bail.
Do a segment situation.
Yeah, let's get a situation going.
All
Kyle,
right.
are you going to play Destiny tonight or what?
I might. I don't know. Let's see where the road takes me.
You're ridiculous. I got 3 at 1,005 plus.
Maybe I'm like 1,016. I don't know.
Nah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Nah.
All righty.
Fidget tricks?
You want to do the Legend of Zelda official movie trailer?
I know.
Okay.
Is there actually a movie trailer that he reviews, or is this Eric making a movie trailer?
I don't know.
The Legend of Zelda, but he's holding up a 007 video.
Wow.
This was posted October 30th, 2011.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, its 10th birthday is coming up in not too terribly long.
Gabby was probably living on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24 views.
Hey there, YouTube. Checking to see if the camera worked. Alright.
Yep.
Game or movie review. It is a rant on why. Maybe you'll listen to my videos because I'm doing this. Why do they make them? Why do they make stupid Legend of Zelda trailers that sound so awesome? And they could be a spoof, or they could be legit, like the Ocarina of Time. Why do they do them and cause me as a fan and a viewer to hate you for doing them?
How often
So I was thinking about that, and I was thinking,
5 seconds?
I like Legend.
What's that, Spurge?
How off is his audio from his mouth, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Could be there's some lag issues or something with the
Oh, it might be on my end
internet,
too.
yeah.
Zelda. I like it. I like it a lot. And
What's that, Kat?
He goes on for 13 minutes about this.
Yeah.
We're not gonna watch the whole thing, are we?
No. There's a trend in Eric videos to kind of go through a historical arc because we went through the cell phone history up to, 10 years ago's phone. But he had all the old phones and stuff, so I think we're doing the same thing in this one because, he's starting with a Super Nintendo cartridge. So no doubt he'll work his way up to what was out 10 years ago for Zelda stuff, like
Twilight Princess?
Wii U, maybe,
Twilight
or-
Princess. Twilight Princess, I think was what it was.
Yeah. Is that GameCube?
It was Wii.
Wii? Okay.
Wii, yeah.
And the Wii was 10 years ago.
Yup. At least.
Holy cow.
How's this for an angle? Is this too
Kyle, you want
close?
to play Wii?
There you go. I got to put it like in line right there. Okay, so I like Legend of Zelda. That look good. That looks pretty good. So I thought, why not share some of your Legend of Zelda games, you know? Or heck, why not share all your games? So this is my video game collection. Mostly Nintendo. And I was trying to... That's a gong. That's what's echoing.
Oh, I love the coughs.
Jeez.
Distorted coughing. Oh man, I'm gonna skip ahead here. Here he's talking about something.
Beat it. My brother beat it. I didn't beat it, but whatever. I was there. You know, I was there, man. I was there. Here's a sweet game. Played this game on a big screen. So like my four corner screen, you know how you my corner screen was like its own 27-inch TV. So Vigilante, great. I don't know. It was my first drive car shoot game. It was fun. I love this game. This is a treasure. This is a jewel.
I don't know. I can't remember that game at all.
Well,
Yeah, that was a good one. It's Vigilante 8. It's like car
Vigilante,
shooting.
yep.
Yeah.
That's a great game.
I have zero recollection of that. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit here. Oh, we're up to GameCube. 7 minutes in.
Some people don't like Double Dash because there's 2 players and it made your cars weird. I enjoyed it. It was a good game. Gotta keep in line with the Mario Kart, right? Dragon Ball Z Saga. This was fun because you got to play as every character and beat all of those bosses and villains and whatnot. So that was a fun game. A lot of people don't like it. I don't know. Whatever.
Crushing a root beer.
Root beer break.
Down in the soda. Just ripping an A&W.
Oh yeah. A&W is good,
The squeeze on that drink too. The squeeze
Oh, yeah.
chug.
Yeah, you know it's serious if it's a squeeze drink.
Yeah.
I used to take squeeze drinks off people like, hey, can I get a drink of your water or whatever? And you know, take a squeeze drink, hand it back to them, and it's like 2/3 empty.
Yeah, and a third of that's backwash because
Yep.
it like suctions back out.
Might as well just give it to me now. All right, I'm going to jump ahead one little more bit, see what it's like at the end.
This is Separation Anxiety, a Spider-Man game.
So that's Sega Genesis, so I guess we're not
Oh, wow.
going in order of time.
The Genesis, who cares?
I really liked his Renaissance Fair one.
Yeah. That was good.
He was so mad about the drum.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like kind of didn't work or something, or
Yeah.
It was cheaply made.
cheaply
Yeah, that's
made,
what it
yeah.
was. It was
Yeah.
cheap.
Yep. Well, we'll see if there's a Renaissance fair. Maybe we should all go next fall.
Yeah. Only if we dress up.
Oh yeah. Wear full Renaissance regalia.
Nice.
That would
I
be
feel like I
sweet.
would do that, and you guys would all just show up in normal clothes.
Well, Kat, you're like pretty crafty and stuff. I bet you could whip up some pretty good looking Renaissance get ups.
Oh, thank you. I already have my outfit actually.
Oh,
so.
you do?
Yeah,
Nice.
I do.
That would be rad. I used to have some Renaissance clothes, but I had it for like, it was sized for like a teenager, little kid, you know, so.
Well, I can
you
hook
can
you
be
up
the
if
wood
you want.
elf.
Yeah. Yep. Unfortunately, I outgrew it. The pants were dope, though. I remember. I kept wearing them even in like instances that weren't appropriate. Oh well, it was cool.
Good for you.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, has everybody had enough, or how are we feeling?
Yeah, I think so. I better call it.
All righty. Well, thank you all for being on. I don't know what
Yeah.
episode this is even.
Be safe out there, people.
That's
Stay
right.
home.
Yeah.
Stay
Be a
home.
hero.
Be a hero.
Corona will get you all.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
Later.
Take care.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Mm.